Alright, so this is the Lightfall video. Try to give some thoughts, some things to think about what's changed, and on how the campaign was. Just quickly on the campaign, I thought for the most part the gameplay was fun. The sections where you only get one revive, you know, it's just standard Destiny stuff. Some stuff you're just gonna, I feel like you take cheap L's. Even if you're hiding behind cover, there's 1,000 things shooting you. So doing it solo can be a pain. I did it on my Titan, set up with solar, ran it with Joe. It took us all day the first day it came out. Taking some L's, I'm gonna upload those videos later. But as far as the gameplay, pretty standard stuff. The tormentors were cool. They can be annoying because it seems like they're just there to try to suppress you. they're just big tanks to me, honestly, because then they like just stand there and then all of a sudden they just run and bust you. But you know, they're a cool addition. Yeah, most of the fights, most of the encounters, pretty standard stuff. I like that you get to use Strand. Well, for Titan, like, it was okay. I think I liked the Warlock Strand a lot better. I did Void Warlock through the Legendary campaign, and then I had to get help at the end, so shout out to Jaeger for helping me with Callus. But other than that, it wasn't really anything to write home about. I'm not going to go into the story right now, but as far as just the gameplay, like, it was fun. I definitely think the exotics for Strand is definitely excuse me, is what makes it busted. Yes, some of the aspects and fragments you can get busted too with the mods, but for the most part you get to see it in the campaign. And yeah, I mean, it was, by the end I wanted to punch somebody, but you know, it's just standard Destiny stuff. As far as the writing and the story, I can't comment too much. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know how it got approved. They need to hire somebody for these ideas and these things they do, because we'll just go right into the difficulty. I don't want to make a long video, but the Legendary campaign, the difficulty was, especially solo, it's not that it's difficult, you just take L's cheaply. I don't have another way to put it. Cheap L's. What was one time I was going through the encounter, you gotta on the rooftop you gotta beat one of the Cabal buys while you have the suppression field active. And I'm just going through it, and then I'm about to kill the boss, and War Beast spawn behind me. 5 of them jump on me, so I gotta start all the way over. You know, which is like, oh, you know, you gotta have more awareness on the field and da da da. But when you already gotta play so cautiously because of the damage output to the enemies, and you clear everything and you think it's all cleared, stuff like that happening is like, that's the only thing that really trips you up, if I'm being honest. But keeping going with the difficulty, I think I don't mind the spike, especially in the general game. I think in the patrol space, it's doesn't make sense why everything's so over leveled. Red bars are tanky. You've got orange bars walking around like you're dumping. Like, even with my power level up, it takes too long to kill stuff. And now that you can't over level, I don't understand why they didn't buff primary weapons. This is I don't want to act like I've got a professional opinion on this, but this is just me. I was running through the Nightfall. Where is the Nightfall? It's Proving Grounds this week. But the Nightfall wasn't really a problem. But you really have to, like, be cautious. It's not like it's challenging. It's like, oh, well, everything just takes an ungodly amount of time to kill if you use a primary weapon. I wasn't always a double special person, but I see why people do that now. It's It doesn't make sense to me. I really, this is just me personally, I really want to see them play this higher end content, especially the lost sectors that are 1830. So I did my 5 for the journey and did it flawless in solo and didn't get an exotic. It took me 7 runs to get the Titan exotic because I got the stasis one when I finished, and then I was like, well, I want to try the other one too. So I waited till the leg day. I do that, and then it's just like 7 or 8 runs to just get any drop. And it's like, well, dude, I'm 30 levels under here. Like, what? I don't understand why they don't increase the exotic drop rates. It doesn't make sense with this difficulty change. But if they want to leave the difficulty as it is, that's fine. But I think as far as difficulty is concerned, you can be underleveled or underpowered, but you can't be both. Not with the damage output of the enemies. And I think they need to take a serious look at the AI for the combatants, because it's not like they have new mechanics or they get smarter or they dodge your shots. No, they literally still just stand there. Their shots are just now more powerful, right? And it's, I don't know, it's very complicated. Like I said, I don't produce or develop games, but they need somebody in there when they're showing this off and they're working on it to be like, man, you gotta do better than that, because you're basically forced to play around these cheap things that go on. The splash damage, the mechanics, everything suppresses and freezes you. I did the lost sector, what is it called, on I think it was the Dreaming City one, and the only reason I was dying is because I was somehow getting frozen by the Taken. I don't know how they just got stasis out of nowhere. But like all the enemies that zip around, they go immune, they do this, they do that, and it's like they can spam everything, but yet we need our abilities nerfed. I don't understand it. It needs to be looked at, especially the AI. Another thing is, I get why we were fighting Cabal in Taken or the Scorn or whoever it was we were fighting in the campaign or in the general game, but they need to do enemy faction bad. We've been fighting some of these same enemies since Destiny 1. There's no reason why we can't have new enemies, not reskinned enemies of enemies we already have. Something new that's actually challenging without it just being, oh, well, now they're just 50 levels over and they can do a ton of damage while you can do nothing. Like, please get away from that. It turns frustrating. It doesn't turn fun. But as far as like, in general, I think I already covered the mod system. I don't see why it's so watered down. I don't see why they just took half the mods out. I do think that it needed changing, because before I could throw 1 void grenade and make 5 wells and just keep, and it would refill all your abilities. I think that's a needed thing where there seems like a give and take. Like, you can get your health back with orbs, you can feature melee. I do all ability, but you have to do multiple of these to get the real benefits. So I think that's a needed change, but you still can make 1,000 orbs, and so can everybody else. So I don't see why, if you can just make a ton of orbs like you were making wells, why'd they take some of these mods away? Because you're basically doing some of the same things you were doing before. You're just doing them with orbs. But yeah, one of my main things I wanted to say is, man, please buff primary weapons. If you want to make the game harder, that's fine. But I don't think we should always be underleveled or underpowered. Like, I think we've been doing that forever. That people like the Grandmaster stuff. Hey, that's more power to you. I think I get to the level below that, and that's where I'm just like, this is tedious. It's not challenging. You just have to hide. Right? You're taking pot shots, and it just takes all day, and there's no fun in that. It's not challenging. Like I said, I did that lost sector 30 levels under, and it's not like I was just dying. It just took forever, because especially, I tried to do the one the other day with the barrier champion, and he puts his shield up so quick while he's blasting. And it's like, well, he can do a lot of damage and put up a shield that I'm trying to break with the primary weapon. It takes all day. I get melted by the time I break him, so I have to go hide. Then by the time I get out of hiding and stop getting blasted, he's already got his health back. And it's just that same loop. And it's not fun. It sticks with you. And then so I like that they gave all the other ways to, you know, try and stop them. But once you really get into the end game, man, I'm not running double primary anymore. That's just not even an option. That's not fun. Especially when primary weapons just don't do enough damage. Volt shot and volatile rounds and all that, like, that's nice, but once you get up to a certain level, like, it ain't doing nothing. So you're just shooting at one red goblin forever, and it's, I don't like it. But Strand does seem powerful. I'm trying to end it with this because I don't want to go on too long. Strand does seem powerful. We'll see when Grandmasters and Master and all that stuff comes out. We'll see what the raid. But I wanted to at least get the exotics, get all these fragments. I grinded out. I think I got to buy the last couple, or I already got them all for Brood Reaver and the Titan. So I'll get them for Hunter, but I wanted to give a real breakdown on Strand, and it's strong and it's super fun. The artifact, for better or worse, is doing a lot of the work because you can get unraveling rounds, destroying tangles, like everything's suspended. When you have more than one person running Strand on your team, it is quite frankly broken. But like I said, we'll see when it comes to raids and stuff like that. And it's only been a week, so you know, you never know. People might get tired of it. But there was a person I saw before it came out that said it was a bad stasis. And that's kind of how I felt as Titan. Like, it was okay, but I'd rather do solar and have a way to heal myself, because I think that's the problem people are going to run into. You basically have to heal yourself with orbs, or use a weapon with unrelenting. There's ways around it, but it doesn't. When I got used to Void Warlock or Solar Titan, the reason I like those classes so much is not just because I can be powerful. I can heal myself if I need to. Well, with Strand, yeah, you're pretty busted, but if you get caught out, you just don't have Devour up, right? You can't just get a solar kill and keep restoration going. So there are different builds out there. I will mention Cool Guy has a video you probably should check out with necrotic grips. I don't even think I have them. Let's see real quick. No, this is the right spot. Yeah, I don't even have them yet. But you basically throw one melee and it does all the work. So do with that information what you will. The video I saw, it looked pretty broken. I'm pretty busted just using this and Quicksilver. I think that's kind of the way I've seen other people doing it. Basically get Quicksilver, get the Catalyst, and go to town once you've unlocked most of the stuff in the artifact. But yeah, I didn't want to make too long of a video. I probably went all over the place. But to really wrap it up, like, Strand is fun. The campaign, the gameplay is okay. If you've done it already on Legendary, then you probably got as frustrated as you wanted to be by the end. But you know, it was okay. But to mention again, like, this was $100 expansion. I don't feel gypped, but it does feel like, man, why? You know, between Nimbus and not knowing what you're fighting for, you're just fighting. Like, I don't really need a reason. The game's fun, so I like to play, but it's kind of like, if I was really looking into the story, it just doesn't make sense. There's no way you should have put that out and not known how it was going to be received. Like, we've been around this mountain time again, and y'all need to hire someone. You want to hire me? Cool, you got to pay me what I get paid in the field. But hire somebody, find somebody, so before you put it out, then you won't have that kind of backlash. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not gonna listen to me, that's fine. Please listen to somebody else. Because there's no reason for Nimbus to be cracking jokes like that when the world's supposed to be ending. Like, come on, man. I gotta tell you that. Somebody should have told you that before you put that out. Because you look dumb. I don't look dumb. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help you. But if you're on the fence, you hadn't bought it yet, I wouldn't buy no collector's edition. Just buy the regular game. Beat it on regular. Get Strand and go have fun. This season, we're only a week into it, but I kind of like the activity. It's fun. Busting up with people. I haven't really played Strikes. But supposedly Lake of Shadows and the Arms Dealer, like, I think they got moved the payload sections in them, or they slowed them down somehow, but they didn't really add encounters. That's just what I read. I can't really remember right now, but who runs Strikes anyway? That's why people, the first thing they said was, you're not gonna increase the rewards. And then some people, fair enough, it's like, well, Destiny needs more of a challenge. Don't necessarily need no more rewards. But why would I run harder Strikes if I'm gonna still get Glimmer and Legendary Shards? You might as well just do the Nightfall. That's what I've been doing. If I was like, oh, I want to do something just to try out the build I made, I just go play the Nightfall. You know what I'm saying? So at least I'll get some mo. I might get an exotic. I might get the weapon. But then you gotta think that through. Don't just make it harder. Like the Lost Sector was harder. I still did it, and then the drop rate's still terrible. So incite people, or you know what I'm saying, try to motivate them to run this harder content, to try to embrace the challenge rather than being like, I'm not doing harder content for no reward. It still took me 7-8 runs. Like, is it supposed to be that way? Because to me, that's like a and I did it flawless too. I was doing it flawless and still didn't get nothing. Like, I'll just leave you with that. When I was 1804 on my Titan, did it flawless, opened the chest, and got one enhancement prism, and that's it. And that was my better. It's like, bro, let me get the exotics. At least drop one. Even if you drop something I already got, well, okay, let me see what the roll is. At least double the drop rate. If it takes 8 to get one, that's too many. Not for a Lost Sector I've already done 100 times. On Legendary by myself trying to get stuff and didn't get nothing. Now you made it harder and I still don't get nothing. So that needs to be looked at, like, because people are just gonna go do something else, right? And that's where I'm at. I got stuff to do. I got adult stuff to do. I got beats I want to make. I got other games I can play. Battlefield just came out with a new season. I still ain't messed with Call of Duty yet. I got other games I can play, and I think that's what people are gonna do. They're just gonna bounce. They're just going to bounce for the veteran players. Now, for the new players, when they get their head around the challenge, or quote-unquote challenge, then they're going to do the same thing, like, oh, well, I'm doing this harder content, but I ain't getting it. Because the harder content isn't fun, I don't think. It's not fun to hide behind a rock and take pot shots at a red bar. It's not. I don't know. You can do it. I've done it. But I'd rather just go play the seasonal activity or something. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just go to the moon and mess around. Because I think they're equating this new challenge with fun, and that's just not true. But anyway, I hope I wasn't too negative. I know I was all over the place, but those are just my random thoughts. If you can, try out the Warlock with the new boots. It's pretty fun. Just hop into the seasonal thing. I saw somebody else doing this and they were just clearing it. Supposedly Titan with the new boots is cracked too, but I just got them. I was messing around with them and they cool because you get your class ability back real quick, but I don't know. Is it better than, Bonk Titan? I don't think so. But anyway, comment below what you think. I want to hear what other people think. That's what I thought. I'm gonna be uploading the videos of me and Joe clearing that legendary campaign after I upload this video, so y'all can enjoy that. And then I will have new music and beats on the way for real. So hope y'all have a good day, man. Y'all be blessed.